instant gratification with htmx. So here's a button. Doesn't do a lot right now. Here is the markup. Just a submit button. And let's give it some interactivity with htmx. A string appears within the issuing element here. So what's happening is that we have a GET request issued to this route, and the response is getting inserted inside the issuing element, which is the button itself. What if we want to replace the entire element with the response? Hello world. Just to make sure we have a sanity check here, let's look at our app.rb. Here's the route that's targeted by this snippet here, this attribute, and look, notice how close they are to each other. Get hello, hx get hello. And here's our response string, which can be easily verified if we navigate to the route, the response string. So this is the most bare bones htmx example, probably just without this, with the most bare bones Sinatra example. Let's go back to hx swap. In our HTML is what we had here when we injected the string inside the outer chrome, or the outer element of the button, outer tag. And so we can now see this is default behavior. Without hx swap, we get inner HTML. Okay, what if we want to replace another DOM element? Great me. So we click on this one and want to replace this one here. There's an element for that. Attribute, I should have said. And here, of course, we need to enhance this with an ID, so we can use it here. Nice. What if we want to make a subtle transition effect? Say I have in my CSS file this piece here along with this one. It's a CSS utility that tells the browser to delay the display of an element with 1 second. So keyframe animation. I don't like this indentation, by the way. Feels a bit JavaScripty. There you go. a little more terse. Okay. ID class is probably a good idea. Fade in. Okay, so there is an animation when I reload the page here. It takes a while to appear, but what if I click the button? Well, now there's nothing. Just a standard transition. Abrupt, sudden. So not everything is working as we expected. What happens if we move this and return it from inside the route instead? Turn this into a string. We can omit the quotation marks. You are allowed to do that in HTML5. Let's see what happens. Now the animation is here. There's also an animation on page reload, and this injected string has a larger distance from the button element than the original. Oh, we need to change this to hello world, of course. There's a higher margin here, and the reason that's happening is that we are using inner HTML, so the paragraph returned is inserted within the existing paragraph. So we need to change this to outer. And while we're at it, we can just as well remove this class here. So there's no animation on page reload. Let's see what we get. Boom. Works as expected. And these hx swap attributes follow the element DOM API with inner HTML and outer HTML. So they should be familiar to web developers.